All right, 69. Give the inverse of each. Great. (69A). Give the inverse of each. So y is equal to the cube root of x minus 1. And step 1 to find the inverse is switch the x's and y's. So it'll be x equals the cube root of y minus 1. Step 2 is solve for y. So to get rid of the cube root, I will cube both sides. And then I'll go ahead and switch the sides so my y is on the left. So it'll be y minus 1 is equal to x cubed. And then to get the y by itself, add 1 both sides. So the inverse is equal to x cubed plus 1. Questions on 69A? Okay, so if it's matching, that looks like R, right?
Yeah.
All right, 69B. Y is equal to the cube root of x minus 1. So step 1, switch the x's and y's. And then solve for y. So add the 1 over.
Wow.
So the cube root of y is equal to x plus 1. And then cube both sides. So the inverse of y is equal to x plus 1 cubed. So that is that's T. Thank you very much. I said thank you very much. Today would have been Elvis's birthday, by the way.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Okay, 69C. Y'all even know who I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Y is equal to x cubed minus 1. Step 1, switch the x's and y's. X is equal to y cubed minus 1. Then solve for y. So add the 1 over. So y cubed is equal to x plus 1. And if we want to get rid of the cube, we take the cube root of both sides. So y is equal to the cube root of x plus 1. That's the inverse. So that is did I write the problem down correctly? It's S if we change the minus to a plus, right?
Yeah.
So do that. Add the 1 over. Cube root. Yeah. Tough to match that one, huh? All right, 69D.
It's W if you take away the negative sign.
Nope, it wasn't. The cube root goes over the plus 1.
Oh.
All right, 69D. Y is equal to x minus 1 cubed. Step 1, switch the x's and y's. Get rid of the cube by cube rooting. So y minus 1 is equal to the cube root of x. And then add the 1 over. So y is equal to the cube root of x plus 1. Like that. Once again. I guess it would be u if you change the minus to a plus, right?
Yeah.
Questions on 69?
What was B?
The x quantity of x plus 1 cubed. All right, 70. Write the function modeling the data below. How much are my x's increasing by? The x's are increasing by 1 each time?
Yeah.
Plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. What about my y values? Plus 0.4. And then it goes to 1.2. And then 3.6. Mm. Mm. 9.8. 10.8. What kind of function is this?
It's exponential.
Exponential?
Yeah.
So let's do this. Remember when we did, oh, I don't even know if you guys, did y'all see the tape for number 1 and 2? Remember how to do 1? You didn't watch the video yet, huh?
No.
I taught you before the break. Use the stat button, list 1, list 2. We talked about trash in Florida. Yes? Alright, good. Let's do this, we can do the same thing. Go to stat. And edit. I've got information in my list, I'm going to clear that out. To clear out a list, just arrow up to the L1 and hit clear and enter, and it'll clear out the whole list. Yeah. Okay, so in L1 I'm going to put my X's. L2 I'm going to put my Y's. Stat, calculate. Ramsey, you said this was exponential, right? Exponential, it looks like it's going to be growth, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it. So instead of linear regression like we did for the first couple, let's do, let's see if we have exponential. Let's try that. Number 10 it looks like. Stat, calculate, exponential regression. So that's it wants us to put it in this form, y equals ab to the x power, but it tells us what our a and b are. So it's y equals 0.2 times 3 to the x power. Questions on 70? Yes?
How do you put it in again?
Do you go to stat?
Yeah, where's that?
Hit enter?
No, I mean like into the actual, like how do you solve it? You go to exponential regression, then it gives you the blank screen. I forgot how to actually put it in.
Hit enter again.
Is it error, DIM is back.
Go back to your list. Your lists don't have the same number of in X's than they do in the Y's. You see it? Any other questions? On 70. Marvin, any questions?
Thanks, Mr. Bowman.
Yep.
It keeps saying the same thing as him.
What's yours say?
DIM mismatch or something like that.
Okay, so what that means is it's mismatched. In your list 1 and your list 2s, you don't have the same number of, you got more in one of them than the other one.
Can you start saying the X's and Y's?
They're all the same. Like it's I'm not
Yeah, it is matching up actually.
Bring it here. Okay. Alright, what's the problem, guys?
Oh, it's in L3, L4, and L5.
There is no L1 and 2.
Well, you can't just put it in 3 and 4 and think it's gonna work. You should have said, there's no 1 and 2. It's like, it's not my fault, there's not a 1 and 2. You gotta tell me that part. Okay, this is what you do to fix this. Apparently he's missing his list 1 and list 2. I'm trying to arrow over to the left, it won't work. If I arrow over to the right, I can go that way. But I can't, there is no L1 and L2, they're missing. So if this happens, and you're going to want to remember this, because I can't help you out during the exam, okay? Go to Stat. Set up Editor, number 5. Hit Enter and Enter. It says done. Now go to Stat and Enter. And, those are the wrong ones anyways, right? So clear those out. Clear them out. Whoops. And now you just gotta move those over.
Okay.
Clear them out, move them over to work. Set up editor. All right, any other questions on 70? Okay, 71.
I'm so done.
All right, log base 5 of x minus 6 plus log base 5 of x equals 1. What I need to do is combine the left-hand side into a single log. So I have a single log equals a number. So I'm adding 2 logs, so I'm going to use the product property to combine these. Log base 5 of x squared minus 6x equals 1. All right, now I'm going to put it in exponential form. I'll get rid of my log. Move the base over, so it'll be x squared minus 6x equals 5 to the first power. It's a quadratic, so I'm going to set it equal to 0. Minus 5 to both sides. So it'll be x squared minus 6x minus 5 equals 0. Hopefully we can factor this. A times c is negative 5. 2 numbers multiplied to negative 5, but add up to negative 6.
Negative 6 and 1.
Another 5.
Oh.
It is possible we cannot factor this. Is there such 2 numbers?
No.
No. Okay, so what are our options? What can we do?
Quadratic formula.
We could do the quadratic formula, but since the county is generous enough to let us use the calculator on every single question, what other options do we have?
We could draw a graphic.
Graph it and find the intersection point where it crosses the x-axis, right? Alright, so I'm going to go to my y equals. I'm going to graph the left-hand side in y1. So that'll be x squared minus 6x minus 5. And the right-hand side in y2, so that'll be y equals 0. Graph. One solution, two solutions. Zoom 6. Oops. Zoom 6. All right, remember the solutions are where it crosses the x-axis, right? Where the two graphs intersect. Y equals 0 is the x-axis. So wherever those two graphs intersect, that's the answer. So I'm going to go second calculate, intersect. I'm going to move the cursor close to the intersection point I want it to check. That's close enough. Now hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So that's my first answer. X equals negative 0.742. And do it again. Second calculate. Intersect. Move the cursor close to the other intersection point. And hit enter 3 times. .742. Questions? Any questions on number 71? If you do the quadratic formula, you'll get the same answer, yes?
I already did that, but I don't know how I didn't get that. I got lost after you said second calculate and something.
Intersect.
Yes, I did that. I'm just gonna start. Okay, y equals, right? X squared minus 6x minus 5.
Yes.
Second calculate.
Yes.
I mean graph first, right?
Yes.
Graph and second calc,
Yep.
and then intersect,
Yep.
and say right, and then put it on the point.
Move the cursor close to the intersection point that you want to check, because there's 2 of them. The calculator don't know which one you want to check. You know?
So the one on the left first, right?
Okay.
So then I hit enter 3 times?
Yep.
Negative 7 point.
Huh?
Negative 7 point, that's live, right? Or not?
Thanks.
Alright, like negative 6.38.
What does the calculator say at the bottom? Anything?
0.638.
What does the calculator say at the bottom?
Second curve, question.
Second curve, question mark. It is searching for your second graph. You asked it to find the intersection between 2 graphs. That's what you're doing, right? But you only put 1 graph in there. You only put 1 graph in. How's it going to find the intersection if there's only 1 graph? Y2 should be equal 0. That's the left-hand side of the equation. That's the right-hand side of the equation. So now you're having 2 graphs. Now it works. You gotta do the whole thing over. Second calc. Close enough. Enter 3 times. All right. 72. They want us to graph y equals 1/2 times 4 to the x power. Well, why not use our calculator, right? So 1 divided by 2 times 4 raised to the x power. 72. Hit graph. Hopefully you know what it's going to look like in general already. It's going to be exponential growth. It's going to cross the y-axis at positive 1/2. There it is. It would be nice if we had some actual point values that we could plot on our chart and then trace the line, right? So we could just go to the table. If we had like a table, that would be cool. Second table. Oh, look, there's some points we can put on our graph. So we'll use 0, 1/2, 1, 2 it said. And 2, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Remember, it has a horizontal asymptote, so it'll never go below the x-axis. That graph? They're like identical. It's like the same thing. You can't even tell. You don't know if that's the calculator or that's the calculator. You can't tell. It's like the same thing. Questions? Okay, 73 graph. 3 times 1/3 of the x power. 3 times 1 divided by 3 raised to the x power. Exponential decay. There it is. Go to the table, second table, get some points. 1, 0, 3, 2 1/3, -1, 9 it looks like, way up here.
Can't see.
Sorry. Remember your exam's multiple choice, so for this question here, you'll probably have 4 graphs to choose from. Just graph it, pick the one that looks like your graph. Questions on 73? Okay, can you stop the camera?